Hey everybody, welcome to episode 11 of the Hot Rod Blues podcast. I am Sean Brereton. To my left over here is...
Sean Young.
Oh, Javier, Barbara Stilka.
Mike Abbott, Steel Rose Metal Co., and our special guest, Mr. Hollywood.
Hey, what's going on, world? I am Hollywood.
That's right.
Yeah.
So Hollywood, everybody in the car community in this city knows your name and knows who you are, man.
They don't know your name. They just know that you're
They
Hollywood.
just know me Hollywood.
Hollywood.
I put the real name out
The
there.
real name
Yeah.
is Reginald Thompson.
Mm-hmm. I'd buy that.
Lily Mae Thompson, first and youngest son.
Oh.
A man with a distinguished personality and dignity. A picture of perfection. Ain't that beautiful?
You're a beautiful man.
But you know,
Yeah.
first can I say something?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd like to thank all of y'all for inviting me.
Absolutely.
But I'd especially like to thank Javier,
Oh, man. You don't have to do
my
that.
firefighter.
Nah.
Ladies and gentlemen, he don't want me to say it, but Memphis firefighters, I have all the respect for them.
Absolutely.
Because these guys, man, put their life on the line in my house, and he thought I was in there. So, hey, man, much love.
Man, we were going to get into it.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, man, first of all, thank you. You know what? I'm going to hug you again. There's a story there. We'll get into that.
Well, let's go into that.
Yeah.
We're already there.
I mean, it's,
all right.
Good time.
Okay, car world, Memphis car world, everything's crazy. We started the podcast. I've got a tight circle of friends, and we just started doing this podcast. Well, literally, the night before your deal that we're about to get into happened, we're down at Ricky Neal's place at the Possum Killer Garage. That's episode
The
2.
Possum
Palace.
Palace. Well, it would have been. It would have
Well,
been.
he's the Possum Killer. It's the Possum Palace.
Yeah, it would have been number 5, I think, because it would have been the second one that we
Where's
did.
the
was
camera?
video.
What camera am I looking at?
You look at that one.
You're right there.
Yeah.
Go back in time and watch all the other episodes, but also check Ricky Neal's episode out, because that happened the night before I officially met Hollywood. And Hollywood was mentioned, and everyone at the table was like, oh yeah, Hollywood, blah, blah. And I was like, if I met him, it's not a whole big rigmarole about
Right.
it. Cool, I'd like to meet that guy one day.
You would know as soon as you met him.
Little did I know I'd be meeting him within 24 hours.
Man.
It was so crazy. So it's all coming out this episode, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sorry, bud.
But we don't have a choice, and I was actually waiting for this, because the way the world works and the way the Lord works in mysterious ways, wherever you believe. So I had picked up a shift, and the ice storm went down, and as it would happen, it was just one of those nights where, like, we knew there was probably going to be some fire, and it was going to be a big deal all day, trees falling and everything. So 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that, the fire comes in. And so Lakeview, what road is that?
Lakewood Drive.
Lakewood Drive.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I never met Hollywood, and I didn't know where he lived. I didn't know what part of Memphis.
Yeah.
Don't know him from Adam or Hollywood. So, it's a rocking house fire, and it takes a while to get there because the roads are iced over. There's no power, and but I'm gonna let you go ahead and start, because long story short, I wind up at your house.
At my house.
I'm at your house now. The dispatch information we got was MPD calls it in. There's a little bit more to that story.
Yeah.
Because the officer that called it in was who?
My daughter.
That's right. She was just checking on you and checking on the house on her patrol.
She was on a call.
Yeah.
She was on a call, and what happened was, right before 10 o'clock, she called us and told us to come to her house because our power was out. But earlier that day, we had fired the fireplace up, but we never used it. We fired the fireplace up. Beautiful fire, had the whole house warm. Well, she called us. We told we were going to sleep. It was about 10 o'clock. We going to sleep. We're going to go on in there, turn the cameras out. We going to sleep. Well, I have a goddaughter called us to come on over to the house. We're going to do movie night, looking at television, laughing and joking. So I know I wasn't going to go to sleep. So I kept saying to my wife, let's go to Sam's house and look at television. And sure and behold, my wife said, okay, because my wife don't leave home at night. And then when the power out, we got candles, we good.
Right.
But this night here, on my mama's birthday,
Wow.
she said, let's go.
Yeah.
On the way over there, I told her, said, don't get on Facebook, don't do nothing, because we done told Kim we wasn't going anywhere. Kim gonna get mad.
Yeah.
Well, Kim on the call. And on the middle of this call, this dispatch talking about this fire at 3325 West Lakewood Drive. Man, she panicked. She went to ripping and running, and she got there before the firefighter.
Oh, yeah.
She got there before the firefighter. But, man, you know, it always say that God puts on things on you that no more you can handle. Well, you know, to me that night, it was a little bit more than I could handle then. And I sit in the middle of the yard, them firefighters, y'all was coming out there, man, gasping for breath. I said, man, this is ridiculous. And they had 2 stretchers out there. Because they knew we was in there.
Right.
Oh, yeah, we called for, yeah. No,
because your daughter
So-
probably thought you were in there,
So
right?
I'll jump in, and I'm telling you, I'm a part of a big machine, a very small part when we get on scene. So it's not just me. I mean, we're here talking because we have a connection outside of that. But I'm fortunate. I am fortunate to work with the best fire department in the country. Period, hands down. It's recognized worldwide. People know us. They know what we do. But anytime I show up on scene, I'm just a small part of that.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, when we showed up, and they say there's people inside, that's a whole new level. And you've got to overcome certain mechanisms in your brain that are telling you got to do this or you got to do that. There's still policies in place. And the position I'm riding is like third in, and we have what's called RIT, which is like we back up the guys that are already trying to fight the fire, unless there's an immediate life safety deal. And without getting, I know we're on a car thing right now, but we'll talk about that day because it's emotional. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
There's an MPD officer in full uniform near her squad car screaming at the top of her lungs. That's your daughter. I didn't know. And again, I'd never met you. Didn't know whose house this was.
Yeah.
All I hear is he's in that room. There's a man in that room. And it's off in that right corner. And that is the only part of this house. And I wish I had video of it, but that's the only part of this house that would be viable to even have anybody. So then you're just like, we got to make a play for it, but we're not really allowed to go in, and it's just unsteady.
Yeah.
And we fought real hard, and unfortunately, we saved some stuff that was over on the other side. But man, it was that thing got up in the attic, and it was rip roaring both sides.
Yeah, it was.
I was so grateful that you weren't, but I tore up a lot of stuff trying to get to you.
Well, that was
Yeah, and we weren't going to break any rules. And I won't say it on camera, even if we were. But you, the person who was there, we didn't know was you, was the priority right there. And it was, thank God, about halfway through dealing with that, the fire majority of it wasn't even knocked out. Somebody, I think your other daughter, came in and she said, "He's fine. He's on the way," or something like that. And that just takes it down. I mean, it's a horrible thing. We're still dealing with it.
Right.
But I knew when I came around that backside, we do what's called a 360, just to cover all area. So again, I don't know you, but I come around that backside, and I was like, man, that's a toy hauler. And I saw your F-250 or 350. This guy, and I saw Harley stuff. I was like, there's part of motorcycles in this garage or something. I got through the backyard and I looked, and the glow of the fire, unfortunately, was making your backyard look so beautiful to me. And I want you to give pictures to Sean so he can upload this stuff. There's a clubhouse, a 3-car garage or 4-car garage, a gas pump. There's the thing that got me was the flickery flames in the middle. There was a sign that said Hollywood and Rat Rod Avenue.
Bluefoot did all that.
And I looked at it, I was like, oh, we got to save this house. There's probably some cars back here. That's a detached building. But I remember thinking, an old hot rodder lives here. I know that there's a guy that lives here that does cars. Like, you just recognize it off the top. But anyway, long story short, long, hard-fought battle. I didn't even know, and I tell the rest of the guys they know some of the story. I didn't know it was you until it was all done. Said and done with, and we go to that closet and I start pulling effects out of your house. And I saw your name on the front of that F-250 again. It said Hollywood Street. What does it say on the front? Is Hollywood Street?
Hollywood Boulevard.
No, on the front of your F-250. It says Hollywood something, doesn't it?
Hollywood Stain.
Stain, that's
Hollywood
it.
Stain.
I said, no. Because remember, the day before, I was talking to Ricky Neal about a guy I never met who we need to meet sometime. And I was like, there's no way the universe does that. Yeah, the universe does that.
Yeah.
And
not how you want to meet him, but
it's not how you want to meet him. But hey, he's
But you
fine.
met him.
Family's
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
And it's just things, man. It's just stuff. It's just stuff.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Just
I felt somewhat guilty the next day because in the middle of us repairing your life and trying to say what we could, you gave me the grand tour of the hot rod stiffening clubhouse. You said, "Yeah, man, we'll do that podcast." And I feel really selfish now that I'm telling you, like,
Right.
we're still putting water on his house, and he's like, "This is the clubhouse, and check out this Blue. Blue did this car right here. Here's my motorcycles." And I was like, I think this might be wrong, what I'm doing right now. I was just glad you were okay, man.
That's awful, man.
that was you know.
We fought real hard to say what we could.
And man, I sit at that. I standing in the middle of the yard. I mean, I was crying. And I told my wife, I said, "Baby, we done lost everything." My wife put her hand in my chest and said, "We haven't lost nothing.
That's right.
We
That's
still
right.
here." You know, and you know, a lot of people say things and straighten stuff up at home because they be in hot water. I ain't in hot water. And this is the honest truth. If it weren't for that woman on this, and I wouldn't know what to do.
Right.
I promise you, I wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah.
You know, and in this hot rod with her, if I wouldn't have met Blue, I wouldn't have knew what to do. You know, I met Bluefoot in 2000.
Yeah, I was gonna say this would be a good spot to transition. So Hollywood is the brother from another mother.
Yeah, that was the thing,
right?
Yeah. If you knew Blue, you knew Hollywood.
Yeah, and if you look back at some of our other episodes, we've talked about Blue, especially the one with Ricky Neal. We talked about Bluefoot quite a bit, and Blue is a pinstriper here in Memphis, and just well known all over Memphis and the region for pinstriping and his antics and
yes,
everything
it
else.
was Blue way or no way.
Yeah,
you know. But
exactly.
I met Blue in 2000. I was doing funeral escorts, and I bought a brand new escort bike, Harley Davis escort bike. And I had to do something to it. Somebody was telling me about this guy do pinstriping. So I went and knocked on the door. I said, "I'm looking for Bluefoot." He said, "That's me." And I told him how I wanted my bike pinstripe. He looked at me. He said, "You gonna pinstripe it or you want me to pinstripe it?" Huh? He said, "You gonna pinstripe it or you want me to pinstripe it?" I said, "I want you to pinstripe it." He said, "Well, don't tell me how you want it." Hey, man. From that day until he left, we was always together.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was, and I asked him, I said, "Blue, how did we get so close?" He said, "I don't know and I don't care. Let me tell y'all this story. One day I said, "Blue, if something happened to you, you ain't got no family. What happened to all this stuff here?" He said, "That ain't my word." I said, "What you mean it ain't your word?" He said, "It ain't." I said, "Well, who I need to talk to?" He said, "That's you and Regina, my youngest daughter." I looked, I said, "I'm gonna be the first thing they put out to y'all." He said, "I wish they would." Now, if he gone. I wish they would. But man, he was so real to me, man. I mean, but he always did it his way.
Right.
I'm at work. He called me. "I got a car for you. I got a 36 Pontiac." Down there, raised him down on Getaway.
Yeah.
Ragged thing. And I'm telling you something. I've been working on that car.
This is Blue one?
That Pontiac.
Yeah.
I've been working on that Pontiac 15 years. And I ain't drove it yet.
Yeah.
It's haunted. I done had 3 motors.
Yeah.
Something happened to him.
Dang.
Hey, man, but like I said, man, he was always there for me. I was always there for him. And, man, it was, and it was just like he said. We were brothers from a different mother.
Right.
Yeah.
And they care about no color, no race, no
Right.
religion. Because I remember Tay told me one time that Blue didn't do churches.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I put him in the tub and took him out.
Right. Yeah.
But like I said, man, that was my guy, and I met you through Blue.
Yep, sure did.
And it was right before you got the girls.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Right before you got the girl.
Yeah.
Now, this joker here. Oh man.
I jump right in the fire.
I met him. Hit it blue pretty cocker. Oh my God. Man. That's all shame. That's my hero there, the firefighter.
Yeah.
Mike, I met Mike, and I told Mike one day, I said, hey man, I got to find somebody to rig the neck on my tram. He said, yeah. I said, you know about it? He said, Hollywood, I was doing motorcycles before I was doing hot rod cars.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
This hot rod world, man, is something special. It's something special. It's a clique.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a clique.
That's right.
My wife and I, we joined the Black Widows. And I did a 49 DeSoto for my wife. Albert did all the work on it. Then he decided that she couldn't drive that motor in it, that fluid drive motor. So he put a 2010 Dakota motor in there where you can drive it. All of them got Albert, Mr. Lee, Parker. And I told we was at a dinner one night, and I told Albert and Lee and Blue, I said, man, why don't y'all never call me a Black Widow? I said, well, you ain't got no car yet. But I didn't know my wife, I told the other way we couldn't share no car. So I had to get it.
So she's a Black Widow. Yeah.
She's a Black Widow for me. And if any of y'all know Mr. Lee, you know how he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said, what you mean I ain't no Black Widow in Hollywood? Baby got tits. Man, but like I said, man, and Blue kept trying to get me to go to the redneck room. Blue, redneck room. Blue, redneck room. It's Hollywood. I promise you it ain't like that. And I promise you, it ain't like that.
Right.
Yeah.
I've had so much fun in the redneck room.
Oh, yeah, for
You
sure.
know, I mean, man, it's just, the hot rod world, I've learned so much from cars, being around different ethnic peoples.
Yeah.
It's just unreal,
It transcends all boundaries.
All boundaries. And I made a statement
That's a big word, Mike.
because I got a 39. I got a 39 that I got to bring down here to Mike so I can put some pipes on it that I got from old man Frank Savage. And I'm doing it in memory of Frank Savage.
Okay.
So he had a slick in his garage. So I went down to the metal shop, got a big piece of metal made, and I was going to put on, thank you, Mr. Frank, all you have done to black racing. You hear what I said?
Yeah.
So I was out at the vet show at the Chevrolet place on Mount Morale. So what I'm saying is what I was going to do. It was an old white guy. I said, yeah, man, I'm going to make this big tire so I can put it in front of it. Thanking Mr. Frank for all he have done for black hot rod racing. The man couldn't hardly get up out of his seat. He said, hold up. Frank didn't just do for black hot rod racing.
Mm-hmm.
Frank did for all of us.
That's right.
He said, because we didn't know nothing about gear ratio till Frank started doing stuff. So that let me know then it's not a color bearer.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's all about
Culture.
It's all about the man and the car.
That's right.
That's all it is. The man and the car.
Yeah.
So
That's one thing I'd say about, we talked about it before. Memphis has got its, racism background and all that kind of stuff to it or whatever. But like, I don't see it that much in the hot rod world at all. Like hot rods, if you got a car, you're in, man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is. You can go to any car show and it's nobody cares.
nobody cares. But
Nobody
you're going to always have this in here.
Yeah.
A few of them.
Yeah.
Right.
You can never just
Eliminate everything.
eliminate everybody.
Yeah.
Right.
There's going to have to be some knuckleheads.
Right. Always.
But it is what it is. But like I said,
But it's such a huge community.
It's a real huge
of
community.
I mean, like, it's funny because I just came back from Vegas and I didn't feel the car culture there as much as here.
Right.
I mean, that's one thing. I think our culture. And somebody was asking me about it. He was like, "Oh, well, what's the car world like in Memphis?" I'm like, "It's freaking awesome.
Right.
I mean, like we have stuff almost every night.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter who shows up. It's just,
Everybody's
it's just car
cool
guys.
with
I think everybody's invested in each other.
Yeah.
They're invested. And you could go to another city and be like, yeah, somebody help me out with my car, probably. I mean, Sean has on the road stories, good and bad. Like here, it doesn't matter. If you're part of car world and you have the slightest interest, it doesn't matter if you're imports, motorcycles, hot rods, or race cars, lowriders, doesn't matter.
Right.
You need some help? I got you, man.
Right.
What are you into? What size wrench you need?
That's what kind of tripped me out about, when I do go other places, like for example, Jersey. Like, it was cool. The Race of Gentlemen was amazing. There was amazing cars there. There was a lot of parts and stuff there that you don't commonly see here.
It's hard to find them.
Yeah, and there it was very common, overhead conversions, and it was an amazing, but the people were not like the people.
They're not invested.
Like people here, like they want to talk to you about your car. They want to know what you did.
Right.
They want to be a part of it. And they're like, they could care less if they talk to you or not. Like they're just like, yeah, whatever. Like I was trying to talk to a couple of guys and they're like, okay, and like walk off.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah.
What is going on here? Like this is not like it is here.
Yeah.
Well, me and Mike, like I'm gonna say butthurt. I got butthurt.
Yeah,
about that
yeah,
one dude.
absolutely. Yeah,
I'm
the
gonna
guy.
mention any names.
Yeah.
It's like I've been following this guy
I'm not gonna mention
like,
name just because I don't want.
No. That's the most gangster shit you ever said. Right? I'm not gonna mention him because he doesn't deserve to be mentioned.
That's right.
But anyway, yeah, you waiting to talk to somebody because here, if I'm following your build and I'm interested in what you got going on, I'm trying to talk to you because I want to know what you're doing, how I can do it better or the same, or we could just be cool.
Right.
And that's what we were looking for,
Right.
like that. Like it's almost to the point where I was like so butthurt about the deal. I was like, oh hell no. And Mike was like, we don't chase that. I was like, I'm not going to tell him off, but I'd like to ask him why he's such a anyway.
Yeah.
What's up? How you doing? But no, yeah, it's what I was saying before though. It's a cultural difference.
Right.
Here we're excited to grow the culture and to share knowledge. And up north, the flavor I got was more like when you say click, it was more of an exclusive click thing.
Yeah.
Like
if you weren't part of the clique,
if you didn't know somebody and your dad wasn't somebody, or you knew somebody, you weren't invited to those meetings, or they weren't sharing anything with you.
Right.
And they were just doing it to be the only ones doing it. And that's not what we're in it about down here.
No.
I agree with that. I mean, well, that's one of the things, I do the Cars and Coffee Memphis page and kind of help organize it and stuff. And it's like, I try to get everybody to understand that, it doesn't matter what kind of car you have, whatever. Like, as long as we're talking about cars, it's cool.
Right.
It's cool.
Yeah. If I were to hear somebody putting somebody down for their car or whatever, there, there's places for that, right? Like, I mean, everybody has their own different kind of car shows and all that kind of stuff. Like, you're not going to go pulling up in a 55 Chevy at but actually I have. I mean, like I took
an import show?
Yeah, an import show or whatever. But I've done that. I mean, I've gone to stupid cold with my 55 and the 66, and like everybody's super nice. They go look at the cars and whatever. They don't maybe understand it necessarily that much. Yeah, but which is fine. But they've been great. So like that kind of thing, especially at Cars and Coffee. Like that's what Cars and Coffee is all about. Is like just
whatever.
Talk to people about their car. Like learn something about a Lamborghini or whatever it is. So that's always a big thing to me, I think.
So what Jamie Ott said when we had him on the show, see, he never badmouths anybody's cars.
Right.
Because
It's there.
that car means something to that guy.
You know what that
And
means.
it doesn't matter what it is.
And I'll be the first to admit that I've done that in the past.
Yeah.
And I
know you do it to me regularly.
That's actually been documented.
Well,
Go back, we got that on video. Go back to the tapes and watch every episode.
Yeah. I'm still not a huge fan of Rat Rod, but no. But the thing is though, is like, okay, I don't like Rat Rod.
you hear what he just said?
Yeah, I know.
Did you hear what he said?
He knows what it is.
We're outnumbered now.
Hollywood and Rat Rod Avenue.
I know.
That was in the back of his yard.
I know. No. But I can appreciate any fabrication that went into building the car and make it. Like it's not my thing.
Right.
But I don't hate rat rods. I don't. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I appreciate the build and the thought that went into it, and that's what I actually think car shows don't do a very good job on that aspect of things. They judge on cleanliness or whatever. Like I don't care about if a car is clean or whatever. I want to see like what is it that person put into that car.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like I want to see the ingenuity, the
Right.
thought.
Well, to that point,
did.
what I will say, a category that I don't like seeing at a show, and it happens almost every show, especially when there's rat rods involved, is the rattiest car.
Yeah.
I don't like that category.
Yeah.
Because these cars are art. They're for the most part, nobody's driving down to the edge alley when we have a thing and be like, I hope my piece of crap gets noticed the most. Like, that car was built.
The car I drove to that show got that award.
Yeah, but but what car was it?
Congratulations.
What car was it, Mike?
It was the 31A model.
Yeah,
it was the A model. And look,
freaking awesome.
Justin got right.
Well,
that's a cool car. Justin got number 2, but our 2 cars were the only ones there that looked like that.
Blue came up with a trophy on my show.
Yeah.
Rust is a color.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I gave up, and the same guy been winning it every time.
Yeah.
With his pickup truck.
Tell us about your show.
Okay, my show is my prostate cancer show. When I was diagnosed, Blue was diagnosed with prostate cancer first, and a few years after that, I went to the Blue house. I said, Blue, I got a problem. He said, what's the problem? I said, I got prostate cancer. He looked at me. We gonna fix that. I said, okay. But we come up with this car show. I want to have a car show. I said, Blue, I want to have a prostate cancer show. He said, cool. I said, I want to give literature out for prostate cancer. I want to talk about it. I want to promote that because prostate cancer is a man's thing.
Yeah.
It's a slow growing cancer.
And men are always afraid to go to the doctor.
Men are always afraid.
Yep.
And it's a strange thing about prostate cancer. Prostate cancer moves faster in black.
Really?
It really do.
Wow.
They hadn't figured out what it is yet. A white guy PSA numbers can be high as a kite. Black guy numbers can be 5 or 6 in his prostate cancer.
Wow.
But the best thing about prostate cancer, it moves slow. Early detection is the best.
Mm-hmm.
So we come up with that deal of promoting it like that, and Blue wanted to do, we call it the Dirty Dozen. 12 motorcycles, 12 cars, the Dirty Dozen. Well, we think it's the best in the Dirty Dozen. Then we have different categories. I don't care for doing first, second, and third, just different categories.
Right.
And when me and Blue sit down, he said, we're not having no car show, but if you on your way and it start to rain, you run to a mud post, you just here.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not taking no, we just having a good, clean car show. Have fun. And in every car show that I had, you know who would be there before me?
Who?
Ricky Neal set up.
Absolutely.
Ricky Neal, that's another guy.
Oh, crack of dawn.
Ricky Neal and his family will be set up every time.
6 o'clock.
Hey man, I said, Ricky,
Take care, man.
how long you been here? I ain't been here long. But that's another one of my heroes, y'all. Ricky Neal. I love that brother, his wife, his son.
For sure.
But like I say, that car show means a lot to me because of Blue. And man, he was so ticky on stuff.
Yes, he
He
was.
had me, Blue had me to move my RV. D&N Camper used to give us an RV every year to use. He said, move it over some. I said, well, how far you want to move it over, Blue? About this far. I said, Blue,
4 inches?
what is wrong with it right here? I said, I need it sitting here. Blue way of the highway.
Yeah.
So
One of the very few times that me and Blue kind of butted heads was you remember when the Rockabilly car show that they tried to do in the Edge District?
Yeah.
And Blue was over that. It was over me parking my car, and it was that type of deal. Like, I need you to move it, and I'm
he's
like,
something else, man.
man, I'm not moving. And he's like, you're moving your car, you know, and that little thing. And I think I just walked off, and he chased me down.
Oh, right.
Yeah, he chased me down.
Yes, sir. You got to move it.
Okay. I'll move it.
Yeah.
You got to move it, man. He was a character, man. He was a character, man. And he was a character till the day he died, man. He just told me what he wanted, you know, and that was it. And I did everything he said he wanted. He told Albert he wanted Albert to throw his ashes in the Grand Canyon. Hollywood, I want you to throw my ashes on the motorcycle, running 120 miles an hour. I said, Blue, 120 miles an hour, throwing that ashes, ain't no telling how that's going to go. So I said, when that day came for me to do that, I said, well, here I go. I got up to 85 miles an hour.
What road are you on, by the way?
I was going on 385.
Okay.
I got up to 85 miles an hour. I got up to 90. I said, now I got to hold this up. I got to unscrew this top. I grabbed the handlebar, broke back down to 75. Here you go, Blue. Man, I tell you, man, that guy, you know, he was a character. You know.
So I heard we talked about this story with Ricky Neal, but I want to get, since you were so close, I know y'all didn't get tight till 2000, and the story I want to bring up is the bear story, and I want to know if y'all ever talked about him fighting the bear.
Yeah.
And his version through you, because I heard Ricky Neal's version.
Well, that was pretty well true, but let me tell you, that was true. But one night on Beale Street, Blue was in the wheelchair. Blue got sick. Blue was in the what was that he had?
The cooler? The
No,
cooler?
it wasn't the cooler.
That was like
Oh,
the hover round.
Yeah,
the hum around.
Yeah.
The hum around. Blue was in the hum around. Well, I guess somebody had been making phony passes to get on Beale Street.
Yes.
So the guy looked at my pass, looked at me, looked at my pass, looked at me. So I told Blue, I said, man, got a little slack before I got in here. He said, what? I told him about what happened. Let's go. He said, I ain't putting up with this shit. I said, come on, Blue, leave it alone. He kept on going. I said, Blue, leave it alone. He kept on. I said, Blue, you ain't the same man that fought that bad.
Right.
We get to fighting. I'm on one out here fighting tonight. You know, man. But it was true about that bear, and he had hundreds of skydiving jumps,
Yeah.
jumping out of perfectly running airplane.
Yeah, see, that's something I didn't know about
Oh,
until we had the
yeah.
Ricky Neal thing.
Yeah.
Or the
That's
jump.
what
Yeah,
you guys
said.
right. Yeah, I never knew that at all.
He's a marketing guru.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. You know, he's a.
Self-promoter.
Then he had a big speedboat.
Yeah,
He had a
it's a
big
drag boat.
Drag boat. He had a drag boat.
boats.
Did he
What?
ever race the drag boats over at Kilowatt?
It's possible. It
I wonder if
is,
he did.
because they did. We own a building over off Kilowatt Lake,
Yeah.
and I'd heard stories about drag boat racing in that lake, you know, in the '70s.
But now, the worst thing we did, we got rid of the Mercury.
Oh, you were around for the Mercury.
I was around for the Mercury.
Yeah.
It was doing a car show out here in the fair, the Agri Center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, they had the cars and motorcycles. This guy had these 2 motorcycles. Blue traded these 2 motorcycles for the Mercury. In less than a year, we both damn near started crying.
Yeah.
Because the Mercury was gone, we couldn't find it. We couldn't get rid of them ragged motorcycles, you know. But that was the worst of the worst of the worst.
So, you know, my Mercury, the fender skirts on my Mercury are off of Blue's Mercury.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he gave them to me right when I got that car. He said, man, you need to come by the house. And I didn't know why, but I went out there and he drugged me out to his little garage out back. And he said, okay, you need to go up there, and there's some fender skirts for your car up
Up
there
in
somewhere.
Hattie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I fished them out. He said, yep, those are the original skirts, because his car was a pro street car.
Yeah.
And I am lucky enough to own those.
Absolutely.
And they're on my car.
You know, and I had the 29,
Yeah.
but the day that Blue bought the 29, I didn't like it then. Blue don't like this car. Oh man, we're gonna do something. Blue, we ain't gonna do nothing. You gonna do it. We're gonna do so. Every time I got in that car, something was messing up on it. So I did not like the 29. I've got a whole lot of slack on selling the 29.
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to sell it. And the lady, and I can call her name, Albert's wife told me, "Mr. Hollywood, if you let that car sit in your garage, it's going to whizzle away.
Right.
You don't like the car, Blue gave you the car, you sell the car." I got some of Blue every day.
Right.
Anywhere in my yard, anywhere in my garage, anywhere in my man cave. I got it tattooed, his name on my back.
Right.
Anything, I got some of Blue every day.
Right.
So the people that said I was wrong about that, I might have been, but I was not finna let that car go to waste.
I agree with her.
You know,
Why let the car rot away?
Yeah.
Let someone else enjoy it.
It's not what he would have wanted, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like,
he would.
Blue went to get that car. He saw it. Then when he went to get it, the guy told us, "Hold on, I done wrecked it." Mr. Lee fixed it for him. But man, I tell you, that car, and I couldn't understand why you be driving it and that's what you be doing.
Yeah, all over the road.
Yeah.
All over the road. And Blue went all the way to Lebanon, Tennessee with a trailer.
So that's interesting right there, because unbeknownst to me, at the Ed show that we put on when we chopped his Merc, we had that car show down the road, and Lee, a.k.a. the Hebrew Hammer, and his lovely wife are hanging out. Hi, Lee. Are hanging out behind a sedan. Now, I'm interested in the sedan because I'm building one right now, and I'm always looking. And so I'm picking over this thing, and it's got the for sale sign on it. Because you drove it up to the...
No, Albert drove.
Albert drove. Okay, Albert drove it up there. I didn't meet him. I was like, "Lee, whose sedan is this? This beautiful car." And but I'm picking all over it. And I'm like, "It's got a trailer hitch on it." Somebody went on shows and stuff like this. How'd they do that? Let's look at the frame. And I popped underneath there.
I got a story about the hitch, by the way.
This story is about the hitch.
Go ahead.
I'm underneath this thing, and I was like, "Oh my God." We won't go into the engineering side of things, but it was cracked critically. Like, if you put a trailer with any kind of weight on it, the risk of ripping the back of the frame off was 100%. Like, and so I pop out. I said, "Man, I don't know whose sedan this is, but Lee, you need to tell them, don't hook a trailer up to this without addressing that huge crack in the frame." And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's for sale." I was like, "I'm not buying it. I'm just this is a serious situation. I don't know whose it is." I met you that day. I just didn't realize who you were.
Yeah.
We shook hands.
But now Blue went, I think it was to Lebanon, and come back and told me to take the trailer off. I said, "Blue, where the pin to go through the thing?" He says, "In there." Where the pin?
Oh, wow.
This trailer went all the way to Lebanon, just stuck up in there.
Wow.
With the pin in.
Wow.
Jesus took the wheel and the trailer.
Yeah. So my story about the hitch on that car was I don't even remember where we were going. I want to say it was Somerville. We were going to a show up there, and he was at the back. I was like leading the train going up there or something, and he arrived like super late, and a few others did. And I was like, well, I thought we were all together. Well, he had the little thing on the back to carry his scooter.
Yeah.
And they hit a bump, and that sucker ejected.
No.
The whole thing come right out of the hitch. I mean, like, I don't know if you didn't put the pin in it, whatever.
Standard practice.
But it was skittering on down the road, like past everybody. Everybody on the way.
Right.
So
Blue driving?
Yeah, Blue was driving.
I just see him with his top hat.
Yeah.
Hanging, there's like
the hover round.
It was
The hover round.
rounds going right next to. He's like,
Right past him, yeah. So they had to go back onto the highway and pull the thing back off the highway and stick it back onto the car, man.
Blue has some strange ways about things, but if he said, let me do it like this here.
Oh, then that's the way it'd be done for sure.
But it's just like we got ready to go somewhere one night. I went over there. I was shocked. I was clean. Man, you dress up nice, boy. He come out. He went in at that time. His safe, me and his headphones.
Right.
Blue safe was in the wall at that time, behind a picture. He pulled it out and pulled his jewelry box out. Blue had some gorgeous jewelry. He had the bracelet, nugget bracelet with diamonds at Bluefoot.
Wow.
Yeah, what is, man? I put it on. I said, Blue, I can't lose that.
Right.
So he would always tell me, well, when you get it, put your safety chain. But it come up missing.
Oh, man.
Somebody tore the safe up. Lot of stuff. But when it all boils down, if I can live to be 199, I got stuff of Blues.
Right.
Yeah.
I got memories of Blue.
Yeah.
Good and bad.
Yeah.
So
Tell me about your cars. Tell me about your cars.
I see him.
Here we go.
I went on a tour.
The first car I got was a 49 DeSoto. Pulled it up in the backyard. Blue said, what the hell we finna do with this lead sled? Blue, we gonna fix this car. We gonna fix this car for Vader. Okay. We got this old motor working. The guy at AutoZone on Summer in the back found us the book, the order stuff.
Wow.
We ordered all the brake stuff. We fixed all the brakes.
O'Reilly's?
O'Reilly's.
Yeah, the guy at O'Reilly's. Yeah. I don't remember I don't know his name, but that's the guy.
Yeah. We ordered all of this stuff. So all of a sudden, Albert said, man, Vader ain't going to drive that car with that fluid drive transmission and all that. So we come up, we put this Kohler motor in that transmission, overdrive transmission, all that. Then it had snow white Naugahyde seats. They want that. Took to Birmingham, Alabama. I got brown tweed. It's got Vader's 49 DeSoto. My wife, yeah. It's good. I need got to get some more work done on it, brake work for some reason or another. Then I come up with the 36 Pontiac. Albert chopped the top, suicided the doors, but I done went through 3 supposed to be good motors.
Right.
Ghost motor.
Ghost motors.
Haunted motor.
Hey man, the car, I've never drove. I don't think I ever drove a mile.
Dang.
Wow.
I drove it. We put the note in there. I went around the block, come back. A few days later, I said, I'm going to go out here, look up on there, ain't no oil dripping, pull the thing out, look like a milkshake. I said, oh, my God.
Little head gasket.
Man. No, man, it had some big cracks in the motor. When we took
Oh, wow.
Big cracks in the motor. Man, it just, now I got it where I had a single carburetor. I always wanted to do a carburetor on it. Can't get them right. So one guy told me to take is back carburetor we closed off.
Oh, block off plate?
We block off. It's so. But the front fender, I didn't call myself lifting it up. Soon as you turn, the car is haunted. Anybody know Exorcist? Send on my way, Exorcist. All right. Then I got the car from Mr. Frank. I asked Mr. Frank all the time about this car. He told his son something happened to me, make sure Hollywood get this car. So I've been working on that there. I just got too many irons in the fire.
Yeah.
What's up with the Jag? You as we're walking back up the hill, you said, you see that Jag right there, we're going to do a motor swap.
We're going to do an LS in there. I was. I ain't doing nothing.
He shut it down.
I'm shutting it down.
Everybody at the table
My
is just
brother-in-law,
raising
he
their
going to get that Jag. Man,
Well,
try to get it out of y'all.
Tell us about Mr. Frank. Do you guys know about Frank?
No, actually, I was just gonna say. I was like, tell me about Mr.
Mr.
Frank because
Mr.
I don't
Frank
know.
He's someone to be mentioned.
Wait, is he the guy that Ricky Neal's car was in his yard with a donkey tied to it?
No.
Okay, this is
no.
different guy.
That is
Red. Okay.
Hudson. Red Hudson.
Red Hudson.
Yeah, his name is Red Hudson, and he owned a Red Hudson. In fact, that grill up there came from Red Hudson.
That's Red Hudson's Red Hudson grill?
He had a wall of just countless Hudson grill shells from the 20s and headlights. And he wouldn't get rid of anything. You know, I go down there with Ricky and
typical car guy.
yeah, and I'm like, man, let me just, and finally, he was like, you know what? And he let me buy the raggediest grill shell. I just wanted it.
You get that one.
Because it was from him. You know, he was a very old world style guy. But yeah, tell us about Mr. Frank.
Mr. Frank, if you sit there and listen to him, you just thought he knew cars. Well, Mr. Frank had several college degrees. He was a shop teacher in high school. But Mr. Frank was a low drag racer. I mean, and he has a son now called Frank Jr., which is he do everything immaculate. Well, old man Frank, if it didn't work in your car, he'd put it in his car and make it work. You know.
Yeah.
But old man Frank, you know, he was that guy, man, would be at the racetrack, and he could listen at your burnout and pretty much tell you the numbers you're gonna run. I saw this.
Yeah.
You know, but he was a real car. He was a real drag racer.
And he was around in the early years.
Yeah, he was around in the early years. Yeah, he was around in the he was around in the when they was out in Lakeland.
Yeah.
And he used to tell us about the stories in
Now, mind you, what year do you think that was if you had to spitball it?
72.
Right.
Early 70s, yeah.
Yeah, Frank Lakeland, and Miss Frank was a black fella.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, 1972 at Lakeland.
Wow.
Yeah.
Miss Frank was one of the kind of the pioneers
Yeah.
for the black culture and drag racing in the Memphis area.
He skateballed. But look here, Mr. Frank told me, he said, they had to wait until the white racers stopped racing.
Really?
And then they started racing. He said, but the whites would race with them. And Frank said, all right, come on, show you boys how I go. You know, he was a character. He was a character. You know, but he was good in his day, you know.
Is he still with us?
No, he passed.
Okay.
He passed. His son is racing and motorcycle and car.
Wow.
He's Frank Jr.'s in the Memphis area. He's still here?
Yeah,
around?
Yeah, and he did an article on him. They called him they would call his 350 motors the Savage.
Okay.
It was the Savage.
I like it.
But man, it was, you know, he could put stuff together. But Frank can put some stuff together.
Still racing?
Yeah, he's still racing.
Yeah.
He has a 39 Chevy Coupe, chopped out, suicide door, all the fenders molded in that Mr. Frank was working on.
Dig that.
You know, I don't think he'll never finish it because he got too many other irons in the fire.
I know how that goes.
And I was talking to him about it, and I can't do nothing with it because I can't get the cars I got running.
Yeah.
I just be good to get just one running good. But yeah, old man Frank, you know, Frank opened it, you know, like the guy said, Frank did a lot for racing, but they opened the doors up for us.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
I need some pictures. You know, I might want to hold it. I would really like to, put that on the podcast if we could get some pictures of Mr. Frank.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have some stuff, that'd be great.
Okay.
That'd be awesome.
Even his boy Savage,
There you go.
350.
Well,
Yeah.
I was gonna say I gotta say now, like talking about white racing and all that kind of stuff, whatever. But like, you know, MIR, you go out there, there are just as many folks.
Yeah.
Out there, it's probably 50-50 black white out there.
But you
racing,
know, that was within the changing of the time.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
You know,
That
time change, people change.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of how racing is. Period in the Memphis area.
Yeah.
It is very mixed culturally.
Yeah.
And nobody cares about color
Right.
these days. I mean, you know,
Exactly.
we spoke about that on the Jamie Yance. You know, he straight up said like don't nobody care about that at the racetrack.
No.
I don't know who the fast
At all.
Well,
But I do find it
it's all about how
interesting.
fast you are.
Right. I do find it interesting, you know, especially us, you know, we're real interested in the history of cars and hot rodding and racing in the Memphis area, right? But how many times have you heard about Mr. Frank?
Yeah.
I had first time tonight.
I hadn't.
Right.
Yep.
And probably the first time for all three of you guys. But I find it interesting that, like, you know, he was one of the pioneers, and probably very well respected in the black community.
You can't. But
you don't hear about him too often in the white community, you know, which is odd to me.
Axel just thumped his head off the table.
Yeah.
he sit right down when he's talking.
Yeah, he's like, all right, never mind, I'll just sit here.
So if you guys were wondering what the hell Hollywood's doing over there, we got a puppy over there.
Yeah.
Ace is
He
happy.
gets real emotional when he talks about racing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was.
What's Mr. Frank's last name?
Savage.
Yeah.
Frank Savage.
Frank
Okay.
Savage.
That's why the motors were known as
Savages.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baller last name, by the way.
I know.
Right? Yeah, right.
If you got to pick last names, that'd be
Yeah,
the
yeah.
last name.
It's like, all right.
If I ever go into the witness relocation program, Sean Savage.
Sean Savage.
I like
Fred
it.
Savage is gonna be a little upset.
Sounds a little more,
Maybe his
yeah,
family.
sounds a little more like a porn name.
Yeah,
No,
No, you mean Girth Brooks? That's my partner.
Savage Girth.
it's going there. Savage. Oh man. Oh, that's
as far
hilarious.
off into that pool as over.
Yeah, no, we better stop now.
What's that?
Which one of your cars you working on for yourself now?
Right there.
I'm working on the 32, but man, we have been doing nothing but for like the last 3 weeks of trying to get that Camaro. What do you think of that ride height?
Yeah.
That thing is low, ain't it? Yeah. So we've been me and Justin both have been killing ourselves trying to get that Camaro together so it can go home, and it's dangerously close. We put the body on the chassis. Actually, this afternoon, right before we started doing this.
Man, you did a lot of work on it. I saw you use a tub in there and putting the floors in. You doing a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of work, but hopefully here by the end of the week, that thing will be going home.
Well, I'm hoping that I ride my car one day this summer.
Man, I hope so too.
I've been saying that about
What's it
mine for
lacking?
the last 3 summers.
What's it lacking?
Obviously, a
You
motor.
got a good motor in it now.
Oh, you
Which
guys have a
car?
good motor.
It's a 36 Pontiac.
Yeah, you got a good motor now,
I
right?
got a good motor, but look here, I changed it from a single carburetor to a dual. And we ain't been able to get them right.
Yeah.
And the front fender, man, when I think I got the front
Oh, you
fender
get all the way in
right,
there.
Yeah.
when I think I got the front fender, I turn, it's still scrubbed. I'm going to bring it to you when you get a chance.
Yeah, maybe we can just re-radius those fenders. It's got original 36 fenders on it, so it's got a wire formed edge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to rewire
And you have
them.
problems with carburetors?
Yeah. And I believe them
Oh, yeah.
carburetors are too big. I think them carburetors.
What size carburetors
I
got
think
on?
it's 600.
600s? Two 600s?
Yeah.
On a what size
Is it-
motor?
It's just it's a 350 with a nice low cam.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
That's a lot of
yeah.
carburetor. Yeah. Man, I might. Don't quote me yet, but I may have. I possibly have a couple of 300s. I think 350s.
What I was gonna say, what carbs are they?
Harley?
Hollies?
Yeah.
All right, let me ask around some people. 'Cause
Yeah,
I can talk to.
he's got connections.
I've got.
He's the guy, you know.
Well, I've
he's the
got a
guy.
carb guy. I've got a friend who's the carb guy.
I'm not that
So-
carb guy.
You got that
Yeah.
Harley.
If it
He's not
doesn't,
that guy.
if it does not work immediately, I start over. If I take one apart, it just isn't happening.
You were just looking to see what the inside of that one looked like.
Exactly.
We're gonna go back to that.
I failed so many carburetor
Really?
rebuilds. Yes, Well, I tell you what, the last one I pulled apart, I was shocked that it ran again.
Oh wow!
The Mercury,
You're getting better.
it had sat for a while, and I pulled it apart and sprayed it out and cleaned it out.
Yeah,
Shockingly ran great.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Was that the carb that was sitting on it when you did that little burnout after the
Yeah.
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 Perfect. Leave it on there.
There you go. Runs good.
Well, so I'll give him a shout out. So
Yeah.
the guy that I'm talking about is Robbie Davis,
Okay.
who works at Art and Speed.
Oh, gotcha. He's the
And-
carb guy.
Yeah, and so Robbie he's a friend of mine from high school.
Really?
Yeah, and just one of the ultimate. If it's distributor, or carburetor,
He's the guy.
he's the guy. So everybody there are people across the nation that send their distributors into him.
Really?
Yeah, and he has so he took Arnold. Is it Arnold Bonners? Who I always get Arnold
Grant?
mixed up. No, not Arnold.
Arnold
No,
Ziffel?
not Arnold Grant. It was
Arnold
Arnold
Ziffel.
Brandt. It was Arnold Bonner,
Okay.
who's passed on, but he was like the distributor guy.
Yeah.
And so he ended up getting all of his stuff. Like he used to go over to Mr. Bonner's and learn all of this.
Super cool.
And Robbie is the kind of guy who will, if he's interested in something, he will soak in every little bit of it.
Right.
And we actually did back when I worked with Acceleration Media, we did a video with him and went to his shop in his garage and we showed the Sun machines and everything that he had and how he did all the distributors and stuff. And he'll take a distributor and especially for drag racers,
Right.
he'll take a distributor and hop it up. So
Yeah.
that it's got bearings and all that stuff in it.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, he is the guy.
I can't believe you guys missed my Arnold Ziffel joke.
I don't even know who Arnold
don't
It's,
know.
is.
it's the pig on Green Acres.
What?
Oh,
If you have to explain the joke is not.
Yeah.
I know. Arnold Ziffel.
Oh, you just showed how old you are.
Yeah, exactly.
I remember
Oh,
the
but
theme
you
song when
remember-
Nick
you
and I used to
remember.
come on.
Hollywood knows.
I'm like,
Oh no.
I remember a show called Green Acres, but man,
It's the place to be.
It is. Farm living is the life for me.
That's right.
What was the phone at?
On the wall? What did on the
What's
wall?
on the pole.
Oh, that's Matt Marion. the
Hey,
engineer.
Matt
Well,
Marion just broke
That's because Matt lives. Matt actually lives in Green Acres.
on the pole.
Matt said, well, it's on the pole where they're all supposed to go. It's the phone pole.
That was.
That is good. That
You
is
sounded
good.
just like him. That's awesome.
Did you hear that, man? Did you hear Javier's impression of you?
He's like, I'm pretending not to hear.
It's pretty
I have
good.
muted his microphone.
Yeah.
Accurate or racist, I don't know.
Yeah, man,
Ooh, it's
that's
uncanny.
very good.
Okay. See, let's call Matt's wife.
Oh my God. We'll do it after this. We'll do it after. No, let's do it now.
Yeah, see what she does.
Honey, I'm not coming home. I found me a new love in Memphis.
Sunshine.
Yeah, dude, very funny. That's hilarious. Oh man,
That's how Matt and I wanted to be roommates. Right? Moving in, joke went horribly wrong.
yeah. Well, Hollywood, what else? What else is there that we need to know about you, man? I mean,
tell you
you
what,
obviously.
Let's talk about your daughter. So your daughter she's motorcycle drag racing.
two daughters.
She's still racing.
Now my daughter, my youngest girl, she rides motorcycle.
Yes.
And at one time, I was building four wheels.
That's it. Yeah.
Bands. We were doing them in Blue Garage.
Yep.
And I was winning. But I never could win the big races.
Yeah.
And my youngest daughter, we put on a cut transmission, a 7-mil motor on alcohol.
Wow.
And it was history.
And she got on it.
Oh, yes,
And then
sir.
she got on
What's
it.
her name?
Regina. They call her Jing Jing.
Yeah.
That's my baby girl. Now the oldest daughter is Kim. She's the police.
Yeah.
My middle girl is Tawana. She lives down in Mississippi, and one day I got to get her a 4-wheeler because that's the only thing she ever asked me for.
Yeah.
And I want me a 4-wheeler.
How old is
But
she?
She's Tawana would be 38. If I'm
Wow.
not mistaken. She's somewhere in that age.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Regina, she was killing it.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, man, look here. We named it. I wanted to name the racing team Bluefoot Racing Team, but he said, no. What did we name it? It had Bluefoot in it. I forgot what. We had logos all on the car windows, all on my truck. Man, look here.
This is drag racing.
No, it was dirt racing with 4-wheelers. We had advantages.
Dirt drags.
So dirt drags.
Yeah, dirt drag.
Okay,
And man, my 4-wheeler was as long as from that wall to here.
Yeah.
Dang.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
I mean, man, when I got ready to do my Willie Bob, we draw them out. I had it welded up. We put it on there, man. And at that time, Rodney, the Memphis Platinum was living.
Mm-hmm.
Rodney had everything.
You chromed it out,
Man.
yeah.
Chromed it all the way out.
Nice.
Man, when I bought a boss house.
Oh, yeah.
When
Yeah.
I bought that boss house, I could take stuff and get it out the next couple of days. I didn't have to wait. Rodney said, we bought the whole family.
Oh,
Wow.
But Rodney took care of all our chrome. I had pretty, well, Mr. Lee called me a chrome queer. Y'all know Lee, y'all. He gonna have
This
some crazy.
is the Hebrew hammer.
Is there?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I don't take back the Hebrew thing.
You can never tell what's gonna come out of Mr. Lee mouth.
Oh man, there ain't no doubt.
And
It does have a nice GTO, though. I do like that.
He got a nice GTO.
Man.
Oh, I mean, you seen his little truck too.
Oh, yeah,
yeah,
the
no, I hate it.
The hammer, the hammer truck.
Well, did y'all ever know? Did you ever know the guy that passed a few years ago named Cowboy had a GTO?
Oh, yeah.
Man, Cowboy had a nice
Yes.
GTO. Had a nice pickup truck.
Cowboy had it was like that teal blue color
Yeah,
with white
I've seen it.
with the white top.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
Was it a
Yeah.
bone white on that pickup truck?
Oh yeah, yeah, the 55 pickup truck that was white with red, just red pinstripe flames on it.
He was
nice.
was one
Yeah,
heck of a guy.
yep. Gerald Thompson.
And look here.
Gerald
And
Thompson.
when he found out,
Man, we used to go to shows
Yeah.
all the time, me and him.
when he found out I was Thompson, we became cousins then.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my play cousin.
So we was talking one night, and he misunderstood me. He said, "Don't you never let me hear you say that no more." I said, "What you talking about? Don't you ever use that word." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You never use that word around me." I said, "What are you talking about? You talking about the N-word?" I said, "Man, I didn't say that."
Man, this is a white guy getting on to you for using that word.
I say he got upset.
Yeah, yeah,
But I called and talked to his wife all the time, but
yeah. Betty.
Cowboy was
Yes.
Cowboy was one heck
Yeah,
of a
so his nickname Cowboy was true. I mean, like he did like competition shooting, 6-shooter stuff, and they did a whole circuit before he ever got into cars. I think like that was what he did. Like he would go around and do
gunfighter.
Yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
seriously, like
Gunfighter.
super serious sharpshooting kind of stuff and whatever else.
He
And
was
he was
something.
such a great guy.
Yeah.
Like I miss him a lot because man, he went to every show I went to. You know, I mean, like me and him, we travel all the time going down the road. And every now and then, like my Facebook memory will come up, with him in it and stuff. I'm like, man, God.
I got a question for you. Do you have any idea how Blue acquired that sign off of Danny Owens' club?
Hey, man, let's talk about
You know,
that. Because
An idea.
I know you know.
You know what? It was after Danny Horn's closed.
By the way, we're talking about a go-go dancer that's probably 20 feet tall.
Two of them.
Yes, 2 of them neon signs that used to go back and forth in between the things. So,
Now, you know
all right, go
what?
ahead. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I looked up, they was there,
Wow.
and
Did he know Danny? Were they buddies?
I don't think they were buddies, but he knew somebody,
Right.
Yeah.
But Blue knew everybody.
Yeah.
But he got those signs.
Man, they were cool.
Yeah.
Where are they at now?
I don't know.
They
They
were
Ricky
with
had
Lee.
him at one point.
Well, if Ricky got them, that's what he had.
Yeah.
Because they was at Lee's. They was
Right.
at Mr. Lee, so Rick probably got them now.
Okay.
Did he get the go-go
Rick-
girls, or
Rick-
did he just get the nude
Danny.
girls?
No,
it's
Ricky had the 2 girls, just the neon signs. They were
signs.
sitting out behind his place,
20-footers?
but I think he told us that he sold them to somebody or gave them to somebody. Somebody, I think somebody else other than Ricky has them now.
But like I said,
Yeah.
it was at Lee's place, and then it went to Ricky.
Okay.
Yeah, all right.
But I really didn't find out. I never did know how he got those. But I remember when he tried to sell them, I said, Blue, that ain't no damn Mercedes. You can't get that kind of money from the class.
He was wanting a whole bunch of money.
Man, whenever if Blue got something, he didn't pay nothing for it. And what he paid wasn't about nothing. But he was going to ask the big dog.
He was going to get money for it.
You win twice, brother.
Yes.
Man, Blue, he going to get the big money.
That's funny.
It works out sometimes, though.
Man, I've always wondered how he got those signs. I guess I'll never know.
Yeah.
I guess I'll never know.
He took that one with him.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mr. Lee might know.
Yeah,
Mr. Lee might
I
know.
bet you Lee knows.
Yeah.
You got his number? Let's call him.
Lee Harris.
I got his number.
Let's call him.
Call him.
Call him right now.
Yeah.
Let's do it. It's been a while since we've done a call in.
Yeah, we're
We're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Yeah.
This sign right
This
now.
doesn't work very well.
Yeah,
Right.
right.
I'm not wearing headphones. Let's just do it over here.
Yeah.
Just know you have to start replacing batteries pretty soon.
Right.
Scared of us falling.
Don had passed on, so can't call Don. Lee is about the only person I think we can call.
Yeah.
Right off my head. I would have thought you knew.
No, I'm
I
sorry,
really would
man.
have thought you knew.
Yeah, it's
Should I prank him with the whole trying to get an extended warranty?
he might hang up on you.
Oh, we all hang up on it. He might not answer.
Lee Rich, you're live on the podcast. We have some questions. We have Hollywood Stain on the podcast. You got. Yes, sir. It's happening. You're right now happening. You're gonna watch it later, but it's happening now.
Okay.
Why did your voice change, Lee?
Okay.
Do you need to call your lawyer first?
I don't know. I'll take the fifth if I need to.
Okay. All right. So from henceforth, you're gonna be known as the Hebrew Hammer because you already are.
Go for it.
That's legal. That's binding. All right. So we're sitting here talking to Hollywood about some signs that Blue had, and they were the go-go girl dancer. The neon signs were like 20 feet tall. Danny
Yeah,
signs.
the Danny's dancers.
What do you know about that?
What do I know about the dancers?
How did he get them?
How did Blue acquire those signs? What's the story with all that?
The story is the IRS shut down Danny's, and I say the IRS. I mean, they arrested him and all this stuff, and they shut down the strip clubs. And my understanding is that they were going to, just dispose of the property, and Blue went and, swiped them.
Okay, so that's the understanding. Hollywood, how much was Blue asking for those signs when he was trying to buy them?
Enough to buy a Mercedes.
What is the nickname that you have for Hollywood, Mr. Lee?
He's Hollywood.
No.
You didn't have a nickname?
The Chrome Queer.
You heard it here first, folks. The Chrome Queers on the podcast.
Yeah, we went into that, and he mentioned that your nickname for him was the Chrome Queer.
Absolutely.
That is epic. So to the best of your knowledge, Blue stole the signs.
He liberated them.
From the bolts that were holding him to the pole.
Yes, epic. Okay, well, Lee, I really appreciate you answering my phone call at this hour and being on the podcast.
One last thing, Lee.
Hold on. Javier has one more question for you.
We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty.
I thought I blocked this number.
We really appreciate you, Lee. We're going to let you go, man. Look forward to watching yourself on the show. All right, bye.
He is definitely somebody we're going to have on soon for sure. Yeah.
He might be the him and Kenny Bernstein are the only two Jewish hot rod guys that I know of. Here,
Yeah. They have nice cars.
Yeah, they do.
Man, he is so much fun. I have so much fun when I go to shows with Lee.
He's a
So much fun. That guy is always laughing.
He's
He's
good.
always
He's a good
laughing.
time.
Never see him upset about anything. I mean, I'm sure he does get that way or whatever, but man, he is so much fun to
Well,
be
do you know Albert personally?
Yeah, we know Albert.
I know you do.
Yeah, I know Albert a little bit, not
You
a
know
lot.
Albert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue gonna get Albert to work on my wife this soda. I don't know Albert. You know Albert is the last. He is the last of the little rascals.
Yeah.
Blue said, "There go Albert. That's the guy I'm gonna get to work on your car." So I walked over and said, "Hey, how you doing? I'm Hollywood." He said, "Okay, I'm Albert." I said, "I need to know what it's gonna cost to work on my car." I'm talking to Blue. You take off. You looked at 2 old regular cars. I said, "Hey man, I need to find out if I need to have your money ready. I'm gonna discuss it with Blue. Hold up, Albert. That's my car. I'm the one got to pay you." And he and I have been just like this
Yeah.
ever since. His wife, man, look here.
Yeah.
I call Albert. He gonna come over to the house. He gonna work 3 or 4 hours on something. He gone.
I tell you, I like his approach to building.
Yeah.
Albert's just gonna figure that shit
He
out.
gonna figure it out.
That's
Yeah.
it.
He gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
You know. And,
Yeah.
and he, like I said, he chopped my top, but he never could find another 36 Pontiac.
Right.
So I'm calling one more car. I said, "Lee, tell Albert to fix my car." Lee called Albert and said, "Albert, get another piece of metal and weld that top up." That's how I got my car.
Yeah.
Albert did it up. Albert did it up. He the last. I called him the last of the little rascals. I mean, man, the guy, he had. You come to Redneck Mama? I said, "Yeah, I'm coming. I need you to get two packs of aluminum foil. I need you to bring a helmet, and I need you to go buy a white paint suit." I said, "What? We going hunt Marshalls." I was so glad it rained. It rained at the last Redneck Rumble.
Yeah.
We supposed to go hunt Martians. And something else, man.
Amen. How we doing on time, Matt?
Oh, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
How long you ago?
Somewhere as long as
Right here.
Yeah, right
Start
around here.
winding down about
Yeah, this is
that.
about the time when my batteries start dying
Yeah.
on the camera.
When we go,
All that
we'll
stuff.
rock it till the wheels fall off.
Right.
Yeah.
Or the viewers, either one.
Yeah, right.
Right.
We never know.
Now, Mr. Parker what made me love Rat Rod.
Oh yeah. So we definitely got to talk about Mr. Parker's
Mr. Parker.
rat rod because like he has an interchangeable rear end on it more or less like that. It's
Yes.
it's a pickup, right?
It's a pickup.
Yeah,
Model A.
but the back of it, man, he swaps that thing out for different stuff on
But
the
his
back.
daddy had an old Ford like that,
Yeah.
but it was sky blue. It was immaculate.
It was a beautiful
Really?
car.
When his daddy passed, he got rid of it. It
Yeah.
wasn't
Too
what he
pretty.
liked.
It's too pretty.
You know. But
Yeah.
that man, he got all kind of signs he put on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like an outhouse on the back of it. And
So,
like,
so what it
yeah.
is, I know a little bit about that truck.
Right.
It's a Model A pickup
Yeah.
on a Pinto chassis.
It's
Yeah.
a Pinto.
It's a Pinto.
Really?
And he's got air conditioning, and he drives that damn thing
Yeah.
all over
Oh, yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
He
But yeah, I mean, I tell you, my favorite one was when he had taken the satellite dishes. He took 2 of the old giant big ones
the big ones.
and welded them together. And he had
Yeah.
like the UFO retrieval
I've
service.
seen.
You
I
know,
saw it.
that, and he had a bug for a while. You know,
Yeah,
and
he had
the
a
bug,
bug, yeah.
and it was a roadster. Somebody had cut the top off.
All
And,
right.
and Ron had taken.
You had that car? You had
No.
one.
It was a different one. I had one blue. My brother-in-law.
I would say
had it.
Blue had one.
Didn't you
Yeah.
have a truck, VW?
Yeah.
Roadster?
No, so this car Ron had was not a nice car, but what he did do, which I thought was stupid creative, is he took a bamboo and made a tiki roof and put the tiki roof on the bug,
Yeah.
and it was killer, man.
I seen it.
Yeah,
I
it
seen
was
it.
absolutely
He
killer.
can make up some stuff.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah.
But look
Yeah.
here, I encounter I had with him. When I had my surgery, prostate surgery. Mr. Parker come over there and sit with me. Mr. Parker was sitting just like this here. And did this on my couch. I said, I looked at Parker. What is my wife gonna do when she come home? His feet up on her couch. Man, we had a ball talking. guys, like I said, them guys, when I met them guys took me up under their wing, man. They've been just nice to me.
Yeah.
Just nice to me,
That's a good group of people right there, man.
But Blue didn't pay nobody.
Right.
Did you know that?
No.
Shit.
Well, I tell you, I bribed Blue with a cheeseburger one time.
Man, Blue, he gonna swap.
He's on the barter system, man.
Yeah.
All about barter.
He don't borrow this. He gonna swap this, swap that. It's paid for. But man, he had me laughing. He had me laughing sometimes. And then people was coming up, was saying that so and so at Blue House, it belonged to me. Now, I've been there 20-something years now.
Right.
And I ain't never seen these people that come in that bluffed up belong to. Albert told me that they knew Blue was sick. They didn't come get it. Leave it alone, Hollywood.
That's it.
So I let it go.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
But that guy, man.
Well, Hollywood, what do you want to end on?
I want to end on this note here with me. Do every day just like it's your last one. Treat your friends just like you treat Jesus. It's best to have him and not need him, and need him and not have him.
That's right.
Because all of us are the same. Might be a pigmentation different, but we all are the same. You think I'm lying? Cut yourself, not cut my leg on the tape.
That's right.
All of it look the same. So, for those of the people out there that may hear this and don't understand that, get to understand what I'm talking about. And if all you got, you 4 guys, 5, that's sitting at this table, we got an engineer over there, y'all don't see him. But you 5 guys, I don't know your religious background. I don't even care. My thing is, God made us.
That's right.
To be us, to be friends, to love one another. And if you can't understand that world, you got a problem.
That's true.
Amen.
That's me.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Dig it. Dig it.
Man, I can't thank you enough for coming by.
For sure.
I've been waiting on this. I actually, the invite for this show happened at the steps of your smoldering house.
And here's the crazy part is he was trying to back out of this podcast.
I wasn't trying to back out at all.
He was going to back out. And I said, man, it's the Hollywood episode. He said, oh, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah,
Instantly,
I'm here.
I was like, you have to be at this one. For sure.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't realize which one it was. And then
Man, look here, y'all. I got to say this. I got a shotgun look like an AR-15.
Oh,
You walked out with that, and people in my neighborhood looked at me.
See, when I said I was bringing out your personal effects, I left that part off. Yeah, now that he's opening up to it, he's got an arsenal. Don't come mess with him. Hollywood is not playing around, man. You're going to wind up on screen a different kind of way.
So, man, put this up. Boom. Then he come out with my mom. He said, you might want to put this up too. He said, anything else in there? I said, up under my clothes is a bag. He come out with that. He said, where the bullets at? I said, anything. He said, do you realize how many firefighters get killed?
Oh.
Bullets? And I'm going to go again with how God worked. I got hundreds of 12 gauge, hundreds of 9mm, hundreds of 45. But they stopped the fire while all this stuff was.
Right at the closet.
Wow.
Right in the closet. Wow. All of my clothes is smothered with smoke.
No, when I say the whole house burned but that, I mean that. Like everything from one side of the house to the other to the garage carport, which is where that little offshoot is, that closet, was burned. We stopped it at the laundry room.
Another thing, you didn't know this?
No.
Y'all didn't even put any water on my cheek.
No, I
didn't even
didn't.
get no water on the cheek.
I knew that.
Wow.
Hey, man, look here. It was.
We wanted you to wash it.
It's crazy how it works. So I had a house burned to the ground.
Really?
Yeah. When I lived in Midtown, I had a house burned to the ground. And the only thing that didn't burn was one closet. I'm talking the entire house is decimated. One closet. In that closet, it had old 8mm reels from my great grandparents, 8mm camera. Just about everything that was like sentimental and important was in that closet. That's the only thing that didn't burn.
Hey, short of saving you, our next priority is what's important to you, which is the little stuff you have with those precious memories. That's it. They teach you that from day one. And that's it. But I did have some explaining to do to my lieutenant when he was like, "What are you doing back in this closet?" I was like, "Oh, just getting a few things." I came out with the AR shotgun there and a couple other things. You had the twin pistols. You said the law enforcement pistols. And I said, "Man, this is anything else? Is there anything else?" Anyway, we can go on and on about that off camera, but I appreciate you coming in. I'm so glad
y'all having me.
I'm excited that we got to finally do this.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I appreciate y'all having me.
We're gonna get old Sean B back here in a second. We're gonna sign off on that. You sure? Sean's breaking his on camera.
He don't look good.
Yeah.
Sean's tagged out for this one.
Sean, we're gonna go ahead and shut it down, bud.
Sean Young, you want to go ahead and?
No, wait. I'm waiting on you, man. Let's do the
30s.
Yeah, we're gonna do the 30s voice, man. That's how we end this.
All right,
show.
so we're gonna end
He's
it
almost
with-
done. Sean Barrington's almost done. This just in, the Hindenburg has exploded, and so has Sean Barrington's camera. Humanity.
Are we good? All right.
Back up. All right.
We almost made it on one battery.
I know, we're so close.
Yeah.
This has been Hot Rod Blues with our special guest Hollywood, staying
Thank you.
on Hollywood Street from Steel Rose Medical. Thank you for joining us. See us next week when our special guest will be
Clay Milliken.
Clay Milliken.
Right.
Tune in next week, same bat time, same bat channel.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
See y'all.
Yeah.